So a lot of hard work on the cards for the Indians. The only thing they can do probably is attack from one end and get completely on the defensive from the other. Just have to decide which one is going to be the attacking bowler, and maybe that's the point of discussion here.
I would have thought, Sandra, they had 20 minutes at tea to discuss this. And this is where the umpires really have to get involved here and say, look, you've had 20 minutes at afternoon tea, sort of. What have you been doing to suddenly work out tactics? I mean, this is ridiculous. And it won't be pleasing Peter Willey, because he is one of the umpires around the world who absolutely loathes overtime. He gets paid for 6 hours of cricket, Peter Willey. He is never too pleased to go overtime, but I can't believe we're already 2 or 3 minutes past the scheduled start time and not a ball has been bowled. And even now, they are still fiddling and messing around with the field. Not sure what they did at afternoon tea, the Indians. They obviously didn't have a chat, Sanjay.
Well, I'll tell you what, good caterers here at the Eden Gardens. And the cheese toast that they make at tea time, I tell you, that's very, very good.
Doesn't speed things up, though. And now, first ball after afternoon tea. And still 37 overs remaining in the day. There should be 30 overs remaining, so already India 7 overs behind. So expect another 35 to 45 minutes of play this afternoon, which makes this a long session for the fielding side. And at the end of the day, it's the fielding side that suffers if they're tardy early in the day, Sando, because they've now got themselves a 2.5 to 3 hour session.
All I can say is just another area for Indians to work on is getting more discipline into their bowling. When you have 2 spinners in the attack, just cannot imagine how you can get slow on the over 8. Matthew Hayden, ever since Harbhajan Singh was introduced into the attack, has looked to play aggressively against the off spinner. Has looked to sweep him against the spin as well. Not consistently though, but he's managed to keep the pressure on the young off spinner. Even in his 90s, looking to play attacking cricket against the spinner.
And in the air, and got him. Can you believe that? First over after afternoon tea. And Matthew Hayden, who has hit 3 sixes in his innings, he put it straight down the throat, and he can't believe it. He had a century staring him in the face, and what a start for India. First over after tea, and the man who was charging on his way to his 2nd consecutive Test century is out.
Well, that's the flip side of playing attacking cricket. We were just talking about how aggressively he looked against Harbhajan Singh. Hemant Badani is the fielder in the deep, takes a good catch, but I think he'll be very disappointed with the shot that he attempted after the break. 97 for Matthew Hayden, 193 for 2.
To cricket, you don't just play it, you live it. Which bank understands? The Commonwealth Bank. With the Cricket Academy, we're helping young cricketers make it happen.
Introducing the great taste of the South with McDonald's crispy chicken wing pieces. 3 crispy, succulent chicken wing pieces with a mild spicy coating. So try the delicious Southern style taste here in the great Southern land.
Refresh your mind with Wrigley's Eclipse Cricket Trivia. Can a batsman be out-stumped from a no ball? Yes, no, or only in a limited overs game? Eclipse chewing gum freshens your mouth, refreshes your mind.
Justin Langer on strike. The 2 batsmen crossed, so Mark Waugh, who got a first ball duck. in his only innings in Mumbai has come to the crease. He's at the non-striker's end. Last ball of the first over after afternoon tea. And it's a wicket taking over for India. Australia lose Matthew Hayden for 97, 193 for 2. Matthew Hayden out for 97, Michael Slater for 42, Langer on 45. Mark Waugh yet to face a delivery in this test match. In the previous game against the Board 11 in Delhi, he made 62 and 164. India, that's the first test in Mumbai, and Norton not out in this test. 3 slips in a gully and a month to get ready. A man at leg gully. That's a good position for Mark Waugh. If the bowler can get it in the right spot. And immediately off the mark, lovely shot, hit it beautifully to fine leg. Singh shielding down there at fine leg.
The crowd back in the game, and the reason is this: trying to hit it probably over mid-on, which he had done with a lot of success today. On this occasion, getting the inside part of the bat and dragging the ball on to Hemang Badani, who was positioned at deep mid-wicket. Was looking to hit it a lot straighter. Matthew Hayden thought he was a bit too attacking after the break, looking to sweep against the spin, and was not afraid to play the lofted shot in the 90s. Paid the penalty, missed his second successive 100.
Pretty disappointed Matthew Hayden as he strolled from the ground. Had lunch to ponder his score at tea, I beg your pardon, to ponder his score at 97, and he knew it's gone too square there. He knows the fieldsman's there, and he can't believe it. He played beautifully, Matthew Hayden, from the start this morning. 3 sixes he hit in his score of 97, so he hadn't been frightened to hit the ball over the infield and out of the ground. Cut shot and in the air and gone past the outstretched hand. A lot of oohs and ahs from the slips fieldsman, but 4 more runs. Takes Justin Langer to 49.
The sound level here at Eden Gardens has gone up a few decibels. Good move to get Zahir Khan at this stage. Is falling short of the gully fielder, and a very disappointed second slip fielder there, VVS Lakshman, who reckoned that should have been stopped, but just flew past him. That once at Gopan Ramesh is the fielder at gully. A good moment for India to come back into the game.
Loves to hook the ball, dropped at square leg. Outstretched arm, so consecutive deliveries, one just past gully, and Tendulkar just couldn't quite hold on to it at square leg. He had it for a while, not long enough.
It's good thinking by Zahir Khan. Didn't expect a short one, Justin Langer. It's the second time he's missed against Zahir Khan. Didn't get the middle of the bat, so hardly any power behind the shot. Came on to him again a little too quickly. Good attempt by Tendulkar, but a brilliant catch at this stage would have been perfect for India. The ball really coming on to him quickly outstretched right hand. He's not the most sort of quick reflexes fielder, but one of the things you've got to admire about Zaheer Khan is able to smile after all that. We keep talking about his temperament. I've been very disappointed that chance went down, but he had only a smile to offer.
And that's the 50 for Langer. Had a chance in the over, but at the end of the over he brings up 50 to the applause of his teammates and got some problems with his pads. 199 for 2. Bowling to Langer, who just brought up his half century. And Australia 199 for 2. Both openers out.
A break coming at the right time for Harbhajan Singh. Wicket of Matthew Hayden. He's got to bowl with a lot more penetration now that the confidence is back. He's a young man, still in his early days of Test cricket. As I said earlier, very important Test match. He has to pick up wickets to keep his place in the side. He's got one.
Twelfth half century for Langer to go with his 7 centuries. This is 65th innings. And he's been pretty good. Scoring rate's been up. He's kept the momentum going for Australia. Australia's still pretty keen to get around about 300, you would assume, for the day. Ooh, close to the stump, but played it deftly. And nice shot in the end. Just enough wrist work to keep the ball going. And nice placement away from first slip.
Just looking a little too eager to pick up wickets, Harbhajan Singh. This one is pushed through. I think Langer saw it. Just a bit too close for his liking. But once the ball is pushed through, there's always the chance if the batsman picks it, that runs could fly off the bat. He's got to look to bowl a lot more steady, especially against a set batsman. The run's growing. 203 for 2.
Beautiful shot. He's a man at 45 degrees, a man at backward square leg, and things gone from just outside off stump to just outside leg stump. That lack of consistency by the Indian bowlers again causing them some problems.
I think that's one of his major deficiencies, Harbhajan Singh. That ball was pitched at least a foot outside leg stump. And that is bad bowling, to say the least. Have a look at this. A foot and a half outside leg stump at a very important stage of the game. It's got to be a lot more accurate than this, especially when the team is relying so much on you. Bad bowling.
Well ball, Bachi.
2 boundaries from the over, 207 for 2. Mark Waugh, he's on one, just to face the one delivery, which he whipped very nicely to fine leg off his pads. And now just waiting for some delay. So the TA is still in evidence here in Calcutta. Peter Willie not too pleased about the slow over rate. Some 17 minutes since afternoon tea, and yet only 3 overs have been bowled. Pretty tough for the batsman, particularly the one who's just come to the crease in Mark Waugh. The Indians are quite pleased about it, but for the batsman who's just come to the crease, you need to have the normal momentum going and your normal approach to batting. Just takes a little bit away from that.
Mark Waugh, an important batsman for Australia. The Indians need to get him early, and one of the reasons that they have that fielder there, that leg gully, that's the man there just to catch that sort of a lazy flick that Mark Waugh tends to play off his hips. Hemang Badani is the man. A good move will certainly get Mark Waugh to think. He was out in the first test at leg slip against the spinner. I'm not so sure it's such a good idea to bowl that kind of a line to get that fielder into action, because he's got 3 slips and a gully. I don't know whether this was intentional, but if it was, it's not great thinking. Got 3 slips and a gully on the offside. Anything that just maybe drifts onto middle, and if Mark Waugh plays that shot, it's fine. But to deliberately get him to play that, I don't think it's such a great idea. Over the wicket, Zahir Khan.
Yes, when there's an unusual man placed either leg slip or leg gully, the thing is for the bowlers to just bowl their normal line, and as you said, if something drifts down that way, there's no way you can bowl on leg stump to Mark Waugh and expect to get him out. Maybe once in 100. Nice slow ball, clipped beautifully. Mark Waugh just clipping it through the wicket. This outfield is very fast. That may in fact go for 4. Well, that just gives you an indication as to how fast this oval is. Very green, but it's not a lush green. And very well timed from Mark Waugh.
Just watching the Indian outfit, I'm tending to believe that whenever India gets a break, I think they tend to get a little excited. And they have lost a few chances in the last test match when they've got a wicket at the right time, and when they had to really climb on the opposition, they've let things go by. Again here, that's the line to be bowled to Mark Waugh. They've got a wicket, an important one of Matthew Hayden, and they haven't responded well after that happened. Harbhajan Singh bowled that last over, which was unimpressive, and this again a ploy of getting that leg gully in, and Zahir Khan bowling that leg stump line. It's just a bit of inexperience that's being seen in the Indian team, and at crucial times that can prove costly. It's a good move, that fielder coming in, but the line has to be outside the off stump.
Not much bounce there to end the over. 211 for 2. Very large moths here at Eden Gardens. In fact, that's a kite, a low flying kite that has just crashed during the change of overs. Fortunately, that's when it did crash. So the youngster there didn't think much of that kite. Very important now for India just to take stock of themselves and try and squeeze themselves out another wicket.
Let's watch each and every ball that Harbhajan Singh bowls in this over very carefully. That was spot on. The last one. What he needs to do really is bowl 6 balls in one spot. As simple as that. Without trying too many things. He's got to tell himself that I'm going to bowl a steady line and just hope that the batsman would make a mistake. It's a batting pitch. Very difficult to bowl wicket-taking balls. Just some steady off-spin bowling. That's all. It's a good start. 3 good balls in the over. Too much fair on that occasion, bit of experiment, but a much better over than the last over that we saw from him, where I thought he experimented a bit too much. A lot more variation there in length and trajectory.
Oh, well bowled, Baji.
That's live now. Go back to finish the last over from Singh. Nice shot for 4. Lovely sweep shot for 4. That's the inconsistency that is being spoken about. And he backs it up with a maiden. So well done to Singh. 211 for 2.
The answer to the Wrigley's Eclipse cricket trivia question, can a batsman be out-stumped from a no ball, is yes. Eclipse chewing gum. Freshens your mouth, refreshes your mind.
Got a lot of explaining to do?
With Telstra Homeline Plus, you can call STD to anywhere in Australia for a maximum of $1.98 when you talk between 7 p.m. and midnight.
.211 for 2. 58 overs have been bowled. Hayden out. First over after afternoon tea without adding to his tea time score. Caught at mid-wicket by the substitute Badani, who's on for SS Das for 97. Just a little bit of away movement to Mark Waugh. That's the way to bowl to Mark Waugh. So Mark Waugh pretty keen to make amends for his first ball duck in the first test. Had a wonderful summer in Australia, did Mark Waugh. In fact, he's dug it out, and he's dug it out so well he might get 3 for it. Well run by the Australians. Ganguly doing the fielding. Pretty good delivery, and the bowler has to concede 3 runs. Good crowd in lovely sunny day here in Calcutta. The crowd came in early. Justin Langer played quite aggressively for his 58. Bit of swing, and there's the field. And has he got the edge? He's walked. So he saw a bit of swing the other way to Mark Waugh. He dug it out for 3 runs. And then the classic dismissal for a left-arm bowler to a left-handed batsman. A little bit of outswing, not quite to the pitch. Followed through with the bat and just the edge to the keeper.
And it's again the golden line, just outside the off-stump. This time the inner edge. The batsman walked, making it easier for the umpire. Not easy to spot those snicks in a crowded stadium like Eden Gardens. Justin Langer walks on 58. And 214 for 3, the Australians.
This weekend, the English FA Cup quarter-finals live on Fox Sports 2. Sunday morning at 2, Peter Taylor leads Leicester City out against second division side Wycombe Wanderers. 12:30 Monday morning, John Aldridge's Tranmere Rovers face his old side and Merseyside rivals Liverpool at Prenton Park. Then from Upton Park, Spurs take on West Ham in a matter of life and death for Di Canio. Live and exclusive, the English FA Cup quarter-final starts 1:55 Sunday morning, Fox Sports 2.
Introducing the great taste of the South with McDonald's crispy chicken wing pieces. 3 crispy, succulent chicken wing pieces with a mild spicy coating. So try the delicious Southern style taste here in the great Southern land.
Virtual Dolby Surround with Megatron flat screen and 100 Hz technology. The new Excentia, naturally from Grundig.
So now we have the Waugh brothers together. Steve Waugh joining his brother. Still with the leg gully for Steve Waugh. Steve Waugh, as is his wont, counts the fielders on both sides to check that there's only 11 out there. And there is. 214 for 3. The Australian captain on strike for his first ball. Well bowled. Well played by Steve Waugh. That'll open up the eyes and get the adrenaline going.
That's a scorching Yorker. Couldn't ask for a better ball for Steve Waugh to play first up. And I suspect that was the fastest ball of the day. 142.4, Zahir Khan.
Two strips in the gully, the man at leg gully. Bad ball. Just a little bit over exuberant. Really just have to try and get Steve Waugh out. Not worry about bouncers and Yorkers and in-swingers and out-swingers. And he comes to the crease because Justin Langer just played that classical left-hander's drive to the ball swinging away. And if the foot's not to the pitch of the ball, it's very easy to get an edge. Justin Langer, in fact, didn't wait for Peter Willey's finger of fate. He just walked. And there it is. Click and out. Langer played very well, though, for his 58. Well bowled. That is the absolute perfect line and length to Steve Waugh. If you bowl 10 in a row there, you'd probably get him out. 214 for 3. Good sign for India. 2 batsmen have just come to the crease. One of the things that you try and do as a team, particularly if there's been a partnership or two, is when you get your wickets, you try and organise it so that you get 2 new batsmen to the crease. Not always possible, and in fact, if there's been a big partnership, the fielding team will take any wicket that comes. But if the team fielding has been there for a long time without too many rewards, can suddenly get 2 new men to the crease, it's a big bonus for them. That's exactly what they have done. So Hayden's not still there, or Langer with one of the 2 Wars. It's both the Wars there together now. So India dragging themselves back into the game. And Mark Waugh, his desire is to hit every off-spinner that he faces in the world over mid-on. So how long will Mark Waugh wait before he tries that on Singh? Well bowled by Singh. Waugh was charging. It may have been the bottom of the bat for 4. And just wait for the umpire signal. No, in fact, he's given it byes. So the umpire signalled byes. They went for 4.
And no reaction from Nayan Mongia, so I suspect the umpire was right. No, he wasn't. There was definitely a deflection. Pushed through in the air, and in the end he found himself playing over it. There was a bit of deflection. I'm not sure whether it came off the bat or the boot. After the ball pitched, looked like the bat.
Well, I am surprised the umpire signalled byes, because Singh's bowling off spin and the ball went the other way. So it either came from the bat or the boot of Mark Waugh. So it certainly couldn't be byes with the trajectory of the ball. If it was an off spinner that he missed, it would have bowled him. So the umpire made a mistake there, quite clearly. So the end of the over. It's 2:19 for 3.
On Big Time Boxing, Paul Briggs, former kickboxing star, now light heavyweight boxing champion, puts his title on the line when he takes on Sam Louis. Live and exclusive Friday night, 7:30, Fox Sports 2.
Got a lot of explaining to do?
With Telstra Homeline Plus, you can call STD to anywhere in Australia for a maximum of $1.98 when you talk between 7 p.m. and midnight.
Steve Waugh on strike. Beg your pardon, Mark Waugh on strike after retaining the strike, and that is a beautiful shot. So the ball full on the pads of Mark Waugh is always a chance to go to the square leg boundary, and he looks in ominous scoring form, Mark Waugh, today.
Well, an excellent initiative taken by the host association, the CAB, where they've got 382 people to pledge to donate their eyes after death. The program is called Cricket for Life Beyond Death. The Asian Cricket Foundation is doing their bit, and all those men, those 382 people that we talked about, are sitting there in that stand there. There he is, one of the eye donors, and they've got free invitations to watch this test match, free lunch as well, and CAB will be looking after their medical course if at all any arises as far as their eyes are concerned till they're dead. It's a very novel program there.
And appropriate that they're all over 65 years of age and they're getting certificates signed by Sonny Gavaskar and Ian Chappell.
Had the opportunity to meet them before lunch, and there was one gentleman sitting there who said that he'd watched every test match at this ground right from 1948. So that free passes going to the right people.
Good time for India to work on the 2 for 30 theory. And a lot of times throughout cricket matches, throughout day's plays, a couple of wickets fall for the addition of 30 runs. So whether you're batting or bowling, it's a nice little equation to have in your head. A little bit of in-swing to Mark Waugh. And if, for example, Australia lost 2 for 30 from now, that would put them at around about 250 for 5, which really does bring the game back on an even keel. So the two Australian batsmen will realise the importance of this partnership. In India, on the other hand, who've already taken that round about 2 for 30 since tea, know that if they can do it again, then the first 4 hours of cricket will be back on an even level after being dominated by the Australian batsmen early. So a little crucial 40 minutes or so in this day's play coming up. And a lovely in-swing. That's the type of swing that got Justin Langer, but it now comes into the right-hander, so Mark Waugh has to be very careful because he looks to hit through mid-wicket, and if it's swinging, he has to really be on song.
The only thing that the Indian bowlers have to do is just keep their heads, and as you mentioned earlier, David, 10 good balls around the off stump to Steve Waugh, and you have a good chance of getting the #1 batsman in the world out. Arguably the #1 batsman in the world.
And that's the one that goes the other way, and silly delivery in the end. Ganguly's got his head down at cover, not a great sign from the Indian captain either, and a 4 to finish the over, 227 for 3. .227 for 3. Some batting to come for Australia. Ponting next. We've got Norton the first test. Gilchrist with that man of the match century. And then the Australian bowlers. Kasparic's the one change for the Australian side, taking the place of Damien Fleming. Steve Waugh at the crease won the toss and elected to bat. He's still yet to get off the mark. Ooh, outside edge. They need some overs in a row that are very good, the Indians. And to take you through the next stanza of play, Ian Chappell with him, Ravi Shastri.
Thank you, David. It's so important for the Indians at this stage to be consistent with their line and length. You need 2 bowlers bowling well in tandem to keep the pressure on the Australian batsman. The Waugh brothers relatively new to the crease, although Mark Waugh already has played some superb shots off his legs. Lovely timer of the ball, missed out in Mumbai. But already 3 boundaries here.
It's a good opportunity to get at Steve Waugh. He's a little uncertain when he first comes in against spinners. I think I'd be almost tempted to bowl Venkatapati Raju, the left armer, rather than the off spinner at both the Waugh brothers. Left armers have had a bit of success with Mark. So I think I'd probably be bowling Venkatapati Raju at the high court end, and then once Zahir Khan's finished, you might perhaps then go back to Harbhajan Singh.
Steve Waugh off the mark here. Very important as a spinner that you keep varying your pace on this kind of track. Times a spin bowler, when he's picked up a wicket, can make the mistake of rushing things up a bit, trying to bowl a little quicker through the air. Venkatesh Prasad, he might get a ball straight after Zahir Khan. .228 for 3. Australia have lost 2 wickets after the tea break. Hayden going for 97, Langer for 58. And Venkatesh Prasad now replacing Zahir Khan. So Zahir Khan bowling in short spells, being used as a strike bowler. There's no doubt about the fact that he'll have another crack before stumps today. But now it's Prasad.
Prasad really needs to bowl a good spell here. He hasn't been consistent enough. He found the edge of Matthew Hayden's bat early on in his first spell. But apart from that, it's just not been consistent enough. Not sure if he's the right choice with Steve Waugh fresh at the crease. Steve Waugh is very comfortable playing off the back foot. I think the quickie bowling team at the moment needs to bring him onto the front foot.
Yes, that's a good point you made there, Ian. In fact, when he did induce the edge of Matt Hayden, that was a lengthy bowl. He drew the batsman forward, bowled more a three-quarter length, more a spinner's length on the surface. In that second spell of his, he was a little bit on the shorter side, made the batsman play more of the back foot. And like you mentioned, Steve Waugh loves to play off the back foot early on. It gives him a good sider. He's tight in defence.
Not sure whether that was a good sign for India or not. Prasad, as he was walking back after his previous delivery, was just fiddling around with the back of his shoulder blade. There he goes, sort of neck and shoulder blade. He has had some shoulder problems in his career. Don't know if that's just perhaps a little bit of stiffness or a sign that there might be something troubling him. Steve Waugh has played a couple of shots that suggest he's struggling a bit with his concentration. That last one looked more like what you expect from Steve Waugh. Right in behind the ball, very solid in defence. Previous two, he was a bit wayward, which is generally a sign that the batsman is just struggling with his concentration a little.
Good delivery, comes back a long way, and it's done a little bit too much. But that surprised Steve Waugh. That jagged back into the right-hander. Good decision by Peter Willey.
Well, that's the length that he wants, Prasad. He brought Steve Waugh forward, got the ball to move quite a long way off the seam. Well, it certainly looks to me as though it's hit him in line. The front foot is outside the line, but the knee is bent back. Where the ball hits him, it's pretty close.
That's a very good shout there.
Over.
Maiden from Prasad, 228 for 3. .228 for 3. Harbhajan Singh continuing here. Testing last over from Venkatesh Prasad. Good shout for leg before against Steve Waugh.
Prasad not on too much of an angle there. I think he was a bit stiff not to have got that decision. Maybe umpire Willey thought that it hit the pad just outside the line of off stump. If it did, it was marginal.
Yes, I think what might have just saved Steve Waugh there was the length of his stride when he was playing forward and when he was struck. See there, he gets forward. Oh, that's a good delivery. Even if it would miss leg stump, not by much. mix up there, but Mark Waugh was going. Australia might have been in a spot of bother if the throw had gone to the other end.
There was hesitation from Steve Waugh. Prasad doesn't have a powerful arm. Mark Waugh was never in trouble because he kept coming. It was the hesitation from Steve that might have created the problem for Australia.
Hemang Badani, he's the substitute fielder for Shiv Sundar Das, and he's a brilliant fielder. He's already taken a catch. Again, this is good bowling from Harbhajan. He's getting a bit of drift when he's tossing the ball up. He's getting the ball to curve away from the right-hander, pitch and then turn back. That's a good over. 230 for 3. .64 overs have been bowled here. Waugh brothers out in the centre for Australia. 16 runs the partnership.
Well, India haven't had a bad day really, considering the conditions. They've dropped a couple of catches. Could have made it so much better, but so much now is going to depend on this last period. 64 overs bowled, so there's another 26 to go.
Yes, I think if India can sneak out another couple of wickets before stumps, they'll be happy with the day's performance. This is now a very good batting track.
Yes, it's a matter of bowling very consistently in this last 26 overs. If they could get 2, they'd be well pleased with a day of 300 for 5. If they could get a third one and make it 6 down, then they would have had a terrific day, really. But if they don't bowl consistently in this period and they let the Australians sneak away and it's something like 300 for 3, then they could be in trouble. So a lot depending on the concentration now, because they'll be starting to tire a little, having been out in the field all day. Somehow they've got to summon up that that energy, which it makes it even more stupid that Ganguly doesn't make sure that they get through the overs in time, because it is such a long day. I don't understand why the fielding side would want to extend the length of the day, because really all you're doing is giving yourself more chance to lose concentration and have a few bad overs at the end of the day.
As you can see, India have used 6 bowlers today. There are 2 specialist spinners in the side, so all the more reason why you should be able to maintain the over rate required. One problem in Calcutta is that the light does fade pretty quickly. So I don't think you'll be staying out too long. Still 25.1 overs remaining. That's a lot.
It's ridiculous, really, and yet I can't believe that the umpires haven't stepped in and had a bit more to say about the tardy over rates.
2 of the over, 2:32 for 3.
Got a lot of explaining to do?
With Telstra Homeline Plus, you can call STD to anywhere in Australia for a maximum of $1.98 when you talk between 7 p.m. and midnight.
Introducing the great taste of the South with McDonald's crispy chicken wing pieces. 3 crispy, succulent chicken wing pieces with a mild, spicy coating. So try the delicious Southern-style taste here in the great Southern land.
.65 overs have been bowled, 2:32 for 3. Harbhajan Singh, he'll continue. This is a good contest between he and Mark Waugh. Mark Waugh looking to come down the track to the off-spinner. That's a fine shot. Excellent footwork. He's picked the length up quickly and found the gap.
Well, he looks like a man just coming off a century. Mark Waugh. Really wasn't a bad delivery, but it was just the quickness of the footwork that gave him the opportunity to find the gap. And it's that sort of footwork that makes it difficult for the bowlers. And the young lad there just needs to judge the bounce better off the rope. He copped that one right in the eye. I suppose you couldn't accuse him of not keeping his eye on it.
Now what Ganguly has done here is he's strengthened the offside field. He's got 4 men on the offside, 3 in the ring and 1 man at point a little deeper. So that means he's encouraging Harbhajan Singh to bowl a line just outside the off stump. I think he's bowling at the right end too. We mentioned about the drift he's getting. That breeze, as you can see with the flags blowing across there, helping him to get that drift. Good bowling. He's teasing Mark Waugh here.
Well, he's encouraging Mark Waugh to try and hit through the offside, which is exactly the right tactics for an off-spinner. Almost got the return catch on that occasion, because it does mean, if you're trying to hit through the covers, that you're hitting against the turn. That's good bowling.
That's a lovely piece of bowling. They go up. The finger has gone up too. This is a good spell from Harbhajan Singh. The line was good. He's got the outside edge. And this is turning out to be a good session for India. They picked up their 3rd wicket after tea. Mark Waugh, the last man dismissed.
Well, that's brilliant bowling, because Mark Waugh is a very good player of off-spin bowling. He's got that one to go straight on, got quite a thick edge, and Mongia did well. He stayed down. Umpire Bansal says you're out, and Australia are now 236 for 4.
It's not turning out to be the year of the Tiger on the US PGA Tour. It's time for some competition.
That's what we're talking about.
And they're aiming high for the Honda Classic in Florida.
Beautiful stroke.
Catch all the action from the Honda Classic live and exclusive. Then, following on, it's the Welsh's Circle K Championship on the US LPGA Tour. Golf Lovers Heaven. The US doubleheader continues tomorrow morning at 7 on Fox Sports.
Where is technology taking us? How will we see things in the future? LG Electronics, digital technology that's changing the way we view the world right now. Crystal clear picture, totally flat screen, power surround sound, Flatron, never seen before.
LG, life's good.
So Harbhajan Singh has picked up a wicket of Mark Waugh. Crowd has come alive here at the Eden Gardens. 3 wickets for India since tea. And Ricky Ponting is the new man out there in the centre. So man now at silly mid-off as well for Ricky Ponting. A good over there from Harbhajan Singh. 4 runs and a wicket. 236 for 4. That's a fine shot from Steve Waugh. A little bit of width offward by Venkatesh Prasad. And Steve Waugh was leaning into that one. Good stride forward, got the timing right.
Well, Steve Waugh, he has that ability. If you just give him anything that is slightly loose, he puts it away for 4. It's one of his great attributes as a player. Very rarely misses an opportunity to put the bowler away. Now Prasad really does need to knuckle down here and bowl a good spell. Harbhajan, I think, has learnt something today about bowling in Test cricket. In fact, the encouraging thing for India is that the 4 wickets have come to 2 young players. Harbhajan 2, Zahir Khan 2, and I think they've got a couple of good young cricketers there. Prasad needs to knuckle down now. I think Harbhajan, just in this last spell, I think he's learnt what Test match bowling is all about. Now, it's not a matter of just doing it for 6 overs. You've got to do it for a long period. But I think he's suddenly realised that if you bowl well and you put the batsman through a few examinations, you can get some wickets. You don't have to be trying to beat them with every delivery.
Yes, he's used the breeze well. He's varied his pace. Good flight. In fact, it was the flight that deceived Mark Waugh. When you look back at the replay, I think one would imagine Mark Waugh might just have been better off playing forward at this delivery than back. Good piece of bowling. The line was good too. It's concentrating on that line just outside the off stump.
Because that's been the important thing about Harbhajan's bowling. He's been outside off stump, trying to encourage the drive through the covers from Mark Waugh, and then for variation the straight one, and it was the straight one that found the edge. Really has been a very good spell. He beat Matthew Hayden in flight. That was a lovely piece of bowling, especially to a man just near his century. That also was a lovely piece of bowling.
There's good pace off the pitch too. Now Ricky Ponting is the new man out there. 100 in each innings in the game against the Board President's 11. He missed out in the first Test match in Mumbai. It was in fact Harbhajan Singh who got him out there. But since then he's got 200s against the Board 11.
Yeah, Mumbai wasn't his favourite town. 1 and 2 at Brabourne Stadium, and then naught at Wankhede.
Ponting off the mark. 2 comfortable runs. .243 for 4.